Incoming NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea met with the Reverend Al Sharpton, civil rights leaders and members of the National Action Network this morning. And now Shea and Sharpton are about to deliver some remarks from the National Action Network's House of Justice, now in Harlem. Let's listen in.
And head down to the Veterans Parade, and thank you for all the members of the armed services that either currently or have served. Great opportunity, great discussion here today. I want to thank our hosts and all the reverends behind me for inviting me here for a brief discussion. I think it was very productive. It's one of many talks that I've had in this very busy 9 days or so. Areas of mutual concern. It's very fitting that I'm here, I think, because I am the police commissioner to be of not the police department, but of all New York, of 8.5 million New Yorkers. I want to thank the Reverend for the hospitality today. I think a very productive discussion, areas of concern, and really a first step in having a collaborative relationship going forward, making sure that the police department is the police department for all. Thank you very much. Reverend?
Thank you. Let me say first that we had in attendance to my far right, Jennifer Jones Austin, who heads the Federation of Protestant Welfare Agency and is also a member of the National Board of National Action Network. We have Donna Lieberman of the New York City Civil Liberties Union, who's worked very diligently with us in these areas. We have the Reverend Johnny Green, who co-convened the meeting this morning, pastor Mount Nebo Baptist Church in Harlem, and the president of Impact, which is ministers all over the country, really. And of course, the state president of the Baptist State Baptist Conference, who also pastors here in Washington, Reverend Carl Washington. We have Bishop from Queens, New Jerusalem, Calvin Rice. We have representing New York Urban League, Eric Clayette, representing Ava Rice of the New York Urban League, Reverend Crawford from the Bronx, and Reverend Carolina from Staten Island. And Jeff Eaton of the state NAACP, and Reverend Akers, Lawrence Akers, who is pastors Cornerstone Baptist Church in Brooklyn. We wanted to convene this meeting. First and foremost, we expressed to the commissioner, to the soon-to-be commissioner, that we were very concerned and surprised that Ben Tucker had been looked over to be commissioner. That we do not hold him responsible, he didn't appoint himself, but we wanted to let him know that because of his being chosen at a time that we felt that Mr. Tucker had been looked over for the second or third time, he comes with certain kind of awkwardness that he inherits. Secondly, that we, in the aftermath of the in question of police conduct in the Eric Garner case, he should not feel that there is not serious and ongoing tensions on the ground in the communities of color and policing, that we are committed to working for a continued safe city, but there must be some real candor and transparency with bad actors on both sides, both in the community and the policing. And he must be committed to that and must earn that respect and that openness in terms of communication. We have very serious problems in police-community relations. We spent about an hour and 15 minutes with them raising some of the issues from no cash bail to what happens in terms of some of our own community leaders having their very children pulled over and profiled, to how is there a culture of policing that looks at our community differently than they do others, that moves forward differently than others. And he agreed on some issues, disagreed on others, and we said we're going to disagree, but we are going to dialogue, but we're not going to tell you what you want to hear. We're going to tell you what you need to hear, because we have that responsibility. I think that it is important, as we look at the fact that crime is down in the city, that we not take that for granted, but that we also be committed that even with it being down, we are still disproportionately seeing arrests in our communities. We are still seeing disrespect in certain areas. So even though things may be better, they're not where they ought to be. Malcolm X said if a man has a 6-inch knife in your back and takes out 4 inches, that's progress, but you still have 2 inches of knife in your back. We want the knives out of our back, and we want to have a city where we can work together. I would like Reverend Green, then Donna Lieberman, and then Reverend Washington to have a statement, and we'll take some questions.
Thank you, Reverend Sharpton. Today, we have had a very positive meeting with the soon-to-be police commissioner. We've touched upon many salient issues and concerns that we have as people of color in our community. We wanted it to be known that on a lot of the issues that Reverend Sharpton has been championing over the years, he is not by himself, and that an elite group of clergy has come together between the two groups, National Action Network and Impact, to let everyone know that we are taking policing serious in our communities. Reverend Sharpton, thank you for convening this meeting. We know that it's important to you. It's important to our congregants. It's important to the members of our community, and we are looking forward to ongoing discussions and meetings of this nature with the soon-to-be police commissioner. Donna.
Thank you, Reverend Sharpton, for convening this meeting, and I want to thank the newly appointed commissioner for taking time out today to come up to Harlem and meet with the National Action Network, the New York Civil Liberties Union, Federation of Protestant Welfare Agencies, and the citywide clergy leadership. This is a symbolic statement by the new commissioner of concern about policing and the Black community, and that's an important statement. But we know that he is inheriting both low crime rates, but also low community police trust. And I appreciate that he recognizes that as a problem, and that he has said that he is willing and eager to talk with us, to meet with us moving forward. We have a lot of issues. Of course, we have a lot of issues with the NYPD, accountability, transparency, and there are some, the legacy of broken windows policing is something that the NYPD just has to abandon once and for all. So we look forward to working with and holding this police department administration accountable. We're in the House of Justice, and our mission is about making sure that the police department is acting in furtherance of justice, not injustice just for some. Thank you.
Dr. Washington.
Carl Washington, I'm the president of Empire Baptist Missionary Convention and chairman of the board of Impact. Empire Baptist Missionary Convention covers Baptist churches from Montauk Point all the way to Niagara Falls. And we are here today to stand with Dr. Sharpton and thanking him for convening this meeting with our newly appointed commissioner, to share and to say that we are seriously concerned about the things that have gone on in our city. And we're hopefully that this commissioner will move with a next agenda. What's next to make our city better? What's next to make our city safe for all of its residents? What's next to get our children to understand the need for their own safety? And what's next in getting them to move into a trust of those who have been placed in authority. We are interested in this police commissioner looking at what's next.
Jennifer Jones-Ross. Okay, any questions?
Reverend Sharpton, do you think Mayor de Blasio made a mistake by not appointing Ben Tucker as police commissioner?
We said, I think clearly that we did not understand why he was overlooked for the second time, and we intend to talk to the mayor about that.
Reverend Sharpton, with regard to no cash bail, there's been a lot of discussion about that in terms of when it goes into effect in January and some violent offenders are being released. And we've had a few incidents where, like the staff, the IDs and of the homeless men, where there was an offender who could have potentially been in custody. Can you tell us how that discussion went with the incoming?
He said that he does not agree in total with a blanket no cash bail. Many of us do. And he said that there must be a way that we meet somewhere in the middle. We did not, of course, get to that in an hour, 15 minutes. But I think that as in any program and any legislation, you're going to have things that occur that are not going to be good. There are casualties that we need to perfect the legislation so we can avoid the casualties. But I think the overall impact of no cash bail is more positive than negative. And it certainly deals with a disproportionate amount of people that are held with bail in our community just because they don't have money. You really are doing time because you're poor or you're broke, and we feel that is unfair.
Now, we've been watching incoming NYPD Commissioner Dermot Shea and Reverend Al Sharpton speaking at the National Action Network House of Justice in Harlem. Now, this discussion included policing policies in communities of color, and Reverend Al Sharpton expressed concern that NYPD Deputy Commissioner Ben Tucker was overlooked, the highest-ranking African-American in the department. But Sharpton did go on to say that he does look forward to building a strong relationship with Shea and the community that he represents. And right now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back right here on CBSN New York.